Welcome, everybody, to the Retail Horror Podcast, next Retail Roundtable. Today, I have three guests that have all been on who I love dearly, and I'm assuming this is going to be one of those ones where I'm laughing hysterically and can't seem to get things out of my mouth because you are three of my favorite people that I find the most funny for interviews. So, Andrew, you are from Curious in Hermosa Beach, Michael from Cursive in New York City, and Mary Liz Curtin. I don't know why I can't just say your name. Is it just Mary or Mary Liz? But for some
It's
reason,
Mary Liz,
I want to say the whole thing. So Mary Liz from Lulu and Leon.
or
Leon,
Leon and Lulu.
Leon and
It
Lulu.
could, it can go either way.
Say that five times. Welcome, guys. I'm going to have everybody introduce yourselves again and bring everyone up to speed on your stores and what's been happening, and then we're going to get into it. So let's start. I'm just going to start off. Mary Liz.
Well, it's Christmas in retail. We're having stuff flying in at price points. We don't know that we're making any money because we're not quite entirely sure what our exchange rates are, what the tariffs are, or anything else. But we're going full speed ahead. And so oh, you've been there, I take it. And I think that we're going to have a decent Christmas season, which is good. We did have a pop-up shop for Father's Day where we tried to sell motorcycles. That was not successful, but we
I,
had a lot of people come in. Mostly we had husbands going, wow, and women going, are you fucking crazy? So we didn't move a lot of inventory, but it was fun.
wait.
And we
Okay.
also have a restaurant, and that was kind of fun. That's the challenge.
Okay, we have to come back to the motorcycle question, but tell everyone a little bit about the scale. Okay, the scale of your store is insane, and it's in a X rolling rink, and then it tells
Leon and Lulu
more about
is
the restaurant too.
our two buildings are vintage 1941. The retail store is Leon and Lulu is in the Ambassador roller skating rink, which operated from 41 till 2005 when we bought the building. And we are 15,000 square feet of retail magic. We sell clothing and furniture and gifts and decorative accessories. We have price points from 59 cents for some stupid little something to holy crap, that's expensive for vintage pieces and that kind of stuff. We do custom design work. We have a very healthy women's ready to wear business, which is great because ladies get depressed and they shop. Ladies are happy and they shop. Ladies can't find quite the right pair of black pants and they shop, which is really, really good. And then next door in the former Clausen movie theater, which was built the same year, we have a restaurant and our greeting card shop. And that's about 7,500 square feet. We serve American food, upscale American food, and we are finding our way with the restaurant, which is a nightmare business and one I suggest anyone who's tempted avoid at all costs. But we're finding the special event business to be profitable, weddings and bar mitzvahs and stuff like that. And that's our story. And
What
we're located just outside of Detroit.
Before we jump to Michael, when did were the cards always in the restaurant? Why does that seem
The
new?
cards, we never had the wall space because we only have 15,000 square feet. We didn't really have any place to put cards. So when we opened the restaurant, we just used a lot of the walls in there. And our restaurant is a kind of peculiar, eclectic mix of a lot of circus stuff. So it's very easy to add. What we're proud to say is the largest collection of inappropriate greeting cards you're going to find almost any place.
Uh, I think that's one thing all three of you have in common for sure. Michael, bring us up to speed with you.
Oh, okay. Well, first, I'm very jealous of 15,000 square feet because I think between our two stores, maybe 800 square feet split between two
I'm really
stores.
jealous of your foot traffic.
Yeah, we get the foot traffic. So let's see. Yeah, things are good. We're exactly in the middle of everything arriving, and it's been an absolute nightmare. We had an order come that was stuck in customs for 2 weeks. No one knew, and then it was returned to the shipper because customs isn't equipped to handle the volume or
Wow.
the paperwork for it. So there's just been a lot of that. So it's just kind of like, oh, is this how the season is gonna go? I'm like, okay, I guess I better start, practicing my meditation techniques to get me through this
Oh,
one. Um, so yeah, we have two stores in New York City in the West Village, and we also run a hospital gift shop for NYU, which is also in the city. And yeah,
how big of a shipment was stuck in customs and return? Like, was that something that was prominent for the store, or was that just like a little add-on? product.
Yeah, it was pretty big. It's like all felt ornaments coming from
Oh
Canada.
my
So
God.
it's you know, I think it'll get through, but it's just that now, like, how long
Are
is
you
that going
paying
to
storage
take?
on it?
No, because I mean, that was the weird thing. They just stored it and didn't even try to deliver it. So they just shipped it back to the manufacturer and now they're going to ship it out again and we'll see how that goes. But I made up my mind a long time ago to not like even get in my mind that anything was going to come. So whatever comes is like a surprise. And if nothing comes, then I'm kind of like, okay, well, it's like it never existed in the first place.
I love that.
I'm
Andrew.
with you on that.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm Andrew Gawdun, or Andrew Gawdun, I guess. Should I say my first and last name? I don't know. I would confuse it with these things. My husband, Bryce, and he started a retail shop we're now in our 16th year back in, what was it? Right after Obama took office and things were doing fantastically moving forward out of that real estate craziness or things that had happened there with that first crisis. Um, I got roped in when we started dating. We are located here in Hermosa Beach, California, which is in the coast of LA. We're kind of like a small little pocket that's in LA, but not LA, but still we get all the benefits of LA. We just don't have to reside within all of that mess. We are, gosh, we're right by the coast. I actually have to correct something I said the last time I was on where I was estimating that our store space is about 4,000 square feet. We're totally not. My husband called me out on that. He goes, "What do you mean we're 4,000 square feet? We're about 2,000, maybe a little over 2,000." And then you add the barbershop in that we have, and it cuts it down a little bit. So he goes, "I think you're exaggerating and you might need to rethink that." So I had to clarify that today. We do have a barbershop inside. We have a vintage photo booth that takes the original four strip black and white images on film. Um, we've got a giant, or not a giant, again, here I am oversizing things. We have a camper trailer inside of our store that has now been deemed the kids area. We call it Dorothy the trailer after Bryce's mom and after the gay term, "Are you afraid of Dorothy?" in back in the days. What else? What else? And yeah, so the whole tariff and shipping thing for us, we jumped on it quick too because it was figuring out how to like get things shipped to us internationally or even just domestic, dealing with all of that was going to be a situation. And we started noticing as things were rolling in that it's not necessarily just the 15%, 18%, 20% surcharge they're putting on. It's also these now astronomical shipping charges that are starting to appear. And that has been a big shock to us, and to the point where it's like, oh, we need to like discuss this with some of these lines. When we were in the shows, they weren't really talking about, well, the
No.
shipping is going up as well. It was just, oh, there's going to be like a 15% charge if you don't get it in by this date. So we rushed everything in earlier this year, which leads to the last couple days where we did something a little different. We called it We're 16, and as a 16-year-old does, they make decisions on life. It's our attitude adjustment. So we actually spent the last 2 days completely converting the store to holiday. We're a
Oh,
month early
wow.
than normal. It stresses me out, but my husband really, really wanted that, and
We're
he
selling it like
wants.
crazy.
Yeah, we're stoked. Today it goes live. Our windows are still papered off until I get up there after this and rip them all down. But we went for it.
Wow, so you did
Yeah.
full on holiday? Like this is
It's
your holiday set?
Oh yeah, it takes usually 2 days. We
Wow.
do it November 1st and 2nd. But with all of these craziness of tariffs and everything, my husband was like, "We just have to do it. If you won't give me a room full year for Christmas, I want to do the whole store early just to see if we can knock out a lot of this merchandise." So,
I think that is so smart because Rare Form in Chicago put out her fall and holiday really early, and she said, I asked her, I'm like, "How's it going?" She goes, "It's amazing how much we're selling." And I think a long time ago somebody said to me, you're gonna have people come in like, "Oh my God, holiday already," and they're the first people to start buying. And
mhm.
it really is, I think, rolling it out this early is so smart. And I'm so glad I was right because watching your Instagram, and that's one thing, it's like I love watching Andrew's Instagram because you are so involved in it. But the fact that you guys papered all the windows off, I talked about the other day in the podcast, it's like how you leave one window open so people can kind of still peek in. But I wondered when I was watching, I'm like, does that mean he's rolling all of Christmas out? I'm so excited.
And we didn't leave any cracks in the windows this time. We literally put a sign on the window that said, this is our 16-year-old attitude adjustment, and we're just going to do what we want. And this could be a mistake or it could be a positive thing. And 16-year-olds don't tell their parents what they're doing. So why should we? So
I think you're going to be thrilled. We always start bringing it out early because we just don't have room in the warehouse for all of it.
yeah.
And we've been selling Halloween since early August.
Wow.
And for the one lady who
Wow.
says, how soon? 15 of them are going, where's the rest of it? We want more.
Yeah.
So we've done that for the last few years, and it's really, they cannot wait to start buying it, especially the
Nice.
Halloween people, because they're kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I'm only hoping this
In
is
the
a
best
one-time
way.
thing.
Really? You're really only hoping it's a one-time thing?
I want it to be kind of like a kitsch thing, like we are. Just like 1 year that we did it. I don't know. My husband, he just walked back in the house, but we'll see if he overhears that and he'll say, no, it's every year. We'll see. But yeah, that's
Right.
us. That's us.
I wish Bryce would be in this because you were supposed to be with Bryce the first interview, and then somehow Bryce wasn't, and it was just you. So if Bryce is right there and you can hear me, it would be lovely to see you because I finally saw you on camera.
He can't hear you because I have my earbuds in. I can tell. But he can tell, he said. He's going to be out the door shortly.
Mary Liz, with your Christmas, when you put it out so early or fall, do you, because it is so early, do you put it up in the very front, or is it something that people have to go and find and you kind of push it up to the front as time goes on?
We don't really redo our feature table until closer to the season, the big table right inside the door, but it's kind of in the front. Some of it's around the store. I start with the Christmas. I ooze it out with the stuff that isn't Christmassy, just the green trees, not anything that's horribly red and green and golden and glittery and stuff. But people are anxious to see it, and we put a lot of things up high and kind of tuck it in. But we're building our Christmas shop now, and it's a lot of merchandise. But one of the things I've found interesting this year is, we don't know what's going on, but neither do our vendors. And those poor slobs are going crazy. So when our receiving department is complaining, they're shipping it in 15 orders, we're just pathetically glad to get it. And I think all of us at retail have to appreciate what the wholesalers are going through, because they didn't get their shipments that they should have had in May till June or July, paid more for it, and now it's trickling into us. So we're expecting an interesting collection of receivings.
Yeah.
I've been experiencing that with mud pie because I now am back in the buying world. I took on a restaurant/gift store in Arizona who I absolutely love, but it's been since I was buying for Burt's Pharmacy, it's been a while. So now being back in the show this last time, along with the tariff situation, and even though I talk about it all the time, it's still like, I just want to make sure this is not coming from the country of origin, because some of them were, and only until I really started looking at stuff, it was like, okay, wait, no, we can't do this. But I'm surprised, and maybe I'm wrong because I haven't bought mud pie for so long. It is insane how it's shipped out. It's like, I guess from my understanding is the containers come in and they're literally picking people's orders as the containers come in. So it is a random group of stuff that the shipping window, I want my windows very small because I don't want shit dragging in forever. But they're like, please keep it, because originally I had 9/1 start and I said 9:30 complete, and they extended out to 12:30. I'm all, no, because I know mud pie
It'll come. Yeah.
Christmas and literally in January if they had the chance. So,
It's not just mud pie.
Is it a lot more others too? It's like, and I know they need to get rid of the stuff out of their warehouses, and I know they're getting it late, so they're hoping to ship it out. But it kind of reminds me, at least from my pie, of when, if you remember, when they switched warehouses, and it was like this disaster of they switched warehouses and you weren't getting anything, and then we got Easter, I think, we got Easter and 4th of July time when they did this.
I think you could pretty much just think that our whole industry is like they just switched warehouses and put in a new point of sale system the same week.
It is great. And I know I said in our email before, it's like, I do want to talk about the tariffs and we've touched on it right now. One thing I've heard, and it's kind of what Andrew said, is that I'm hearing people are getting, they've taken the goods, the percentage has already been added on, so now it's more expensive, then they're getting shipping, but also getting hit with UPS and Federal Express doing the customs paperwork, which
the brokerage charges
and that I don't think
insane.
No one in the industry is talking about that. Have you seen a lot of that? And what is it, like 10%? I mean, some of the fees I've seen, like, I forget who shared it. It was I think it was Lone Fox shared it when they took in something from Canada in the very beginning. And I think the shipping was like, or the customs and duties paperwork was like 500 and something. And the shipment itself was only maybe 1,000. So it was 50%. And that was not including the tariffs.
I mean, I think all the brokerage fees and stuff, they're kind of set. So, but the lower your order value is, the higher it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? So if you're getting a $200 order and they've already set their brokerage fees at $90, now you're paying 60% brokerage fee. That's not even including the duties. So like what's driving me nuts now is we just got a big order from France. I spent it was like 37 styles of scarves. I did them. I really wanted to get them out because they're really beautiful. I got them out on the floor. They were already out. I sold one, and then like in late afternoon, I get an updated bill where there's been 3% added on to the like for God knows whatever reason. But I was like, do I now have to go back and spend 2 hours like repricing these scarves to deal with this 3%? Or do I just, like eat it and just be like, okay, well, lesson learned. But there's been a lot of that. So I'm like, okay, we can't process merchandise as fast as we would like to, and this is our busy season where I want to get stuff out on the floor, but we kind of have to slow our roll a little bit until the final invoices come in because I can't go back and reprice all the merchandise. I mean, I can, but I don't want to do that.
So do you know, sorry,
particularly difficult when you get a reorder in from somebody and all of
Oh,
a sudden
that's,
all the stuff, there you go.
yeah.
All the stuff
That's driving me nuts.
in your POS and on your floor is at prices that are unsustainable.
Yeah.
so do you go back and retro? I mean, how do you, I mean, because I'm sure everyone's listening to this going, yes, 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 this is happening. So are you incorporating this with Michael's holding off until, like, do you have an idea, like how long does it take for this other invoice to come in? Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? Like, are you just like waiting, just knowing it's coming and you just kind of have to sit and wait?
We
I mean,
don't know.
yeah.
You just wait. It's just,
You think you've got it all done, and all of a sudden you get an envelope and go, what is this? And then
Yeah.
sometimes you get an envelope with a bill and you don't even really know which vendor it is. You have to, it takes a while to, I mean, it is chaotic. It's crazy. So we're just, I think all of us are just doing the best we can. We're not as tight on our margins as we used to be. We're hoping it's all going to work out. We're not really going to know till January if we made any money because we can't track any of this stuff. And sometimes trying to track it is more expensive than just getting stuck on the deal. At least that's been my approach.
And then because we don't know what these invoices are coming in, if your markup, let's just example, if an item is marked up 3 times at the end of the day, because these invoices are coming in later, your markup is realistically maybe only two times afterwards, or 2.25 or something, just as an example.
And there's no patterns, there's no consistency, there's nothing that you can say, oh, well, this is how it's going to work. And even if you do think you know how something's going to work, it changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The predictability of the shipping or just of the product is no longer, the value of it isn't even there.
And I know I keep saying this, but what we're going through is multiplied, especially with the seasonal vendors. It's amazing what they're going through because a lot of them have been really gracious about not taking as big a price increase as they probably should. So everybody's margins are being cut. From the first twinkle in Santa's eye when he designed that ornament, it just goes downhill from there.
I know during the show, I'm sure you all heard Sullivan's closed, which was really shocking. And I didn't realize, like, they kept on. Sullivan's is a huge Christmas company.
I did not hear this.
I just realized my microphone is nowhere near me. That's awful. It's like I'm a newbie. Jesus Christ. I realized, like, so Sullivan's is a giant, giant, giant Christmas company. And then they have a wind chime company also. Well, the wind chime company they kept because apparently they had the funds to bring in the product. But when it came time to, my understanding is when it came time to bring in their shipment for this holiday show, they didn't have the capital. So they chose to collapse the entire company. So the Sullivan showrooms in Las Vegas, I'm sure it was the same in the other spaces, other buildings, that they had the building just there. The buildings made them keep the facade up like they were still open, but there was no one there. And in talking to them, they just said that just the capital to get the product out, they just didn't have it. And it's so heartbreaking. And I talked to somebody yesterday, and they're from a huge buying or a huge showroom company, and he said this is just probably the tip of it. She goes, the people with the deep pockets, like the really big brands, have the deep pockets to be able to pay for this stuff, but it's, these smaller brands, this is what's going to happen, where they can't even get their samples out to show, figure out how many showrooms they have and to get the samples, let alone the product, because people show the samples, take the orders on it, and a lot of that money is what pays to get the product back in. She's like, I don't know how some of these small companies. So it's so sad when I look at the retail as a whole of like what's going to happen. And what do you guys think is going to happen as far as like, is it just a waiting game, or are there in the back of your heads, this might happen, might how we pivot? Like what does that look like? And I'm going to get off this sad train once we finish this question.
Well, I I remember, Michael, I think you said this in one of your Instagrams about a month ago, that about the tariffs, and I don't want to quote it wrong, but it was that the realistic option of not passing that down will not sustain a business. And I've always thought about it, and I've thought about it a lot even before then, but even when you said it on your Instagram, that like a lot of these companies, we've had a few of our vendors go, well, we're not going to increase our prices until next year. We're just going to give you like a leeway window. So we're going to just kind of help it along. But really, is that going to sustain them? Are these going to be the ones who start disappearing quickly because they didn't pass it on? And unfortunately, you do have to pass that monetarily down in order to just have some sort of margin. And that's where you see the people panic that it's, overpriced. But if you're not including it, they'll be choked out. I mean, I once you said that, I was like, oh my God, it makes total sense.
I mean, I don't understand how that would even be viable for those
Yeah.
companies to do that. I mean, it makes no
I
sense
think a
to me.
lot of them had a lot of inventory
Well,
already.
there was already
Mm,
here. Yeah, yeah.
So they're
that makes
not
sense.
faced with, and I don't think that we have seen the enormity of this mess because, well, all three of us, I think, bought heavily last March and April. We were buying stuff that we're just hoping to get it at a decent price. When that stuff's gone, we're not going to have anything with decent margin. We're going to have to buy at the new prices.
Right.
So I think January, the pricing situation is going to be hideous. But I'm amazed at the people who are not having a fit at high retail prices. I can't, my buyer and I sit there in the back and go, who the hell would spend this much money? And it's selling. I don't understand it, but I don't know what's going to happen after the first of the year. I think we're still in a rosy glow. It's
Yeah.
going to fade
Yeah.
quickly in
The,
January.
the thing that really freaks me out is for like we were lucky enough that we had capital, we could self-fund all of our pre-buys. So
Exactly.
when we brought everything in April and May, our basement has been full of, thousands and thousands of ornaments. We didn't have to borrow the money to do that. Doug and I are lucky enough that we could self-fund it. And I'm seeing on Instagram, especially smaller people or people who are just starting out, and I'm like, and I see what they're doing, and I'm like having heart palpitations because I'm like, you have to be borrowing that money to do that. So now you're
Mm.
inventoried, but you're owing money on your inventory while you can't sell it. So it's
Yeah.
just it's sitting there, and that really
Oof.
it
We're
scares
gonna
me.
we're gonna lose a lot of the
We're,
tiny people, both at retail and at wholesale.
yeah, yeah,
And at wholesale, we're going to lose a lot of the new, interesting, creative people who, the people that we buy that we don't know if they'll ship it or if they'll know how.
yeah.
Those guys are going to disappear. And that's, a big part of our business is
Uh-huh.
fostering those new, interesting
And
people.
who we love. Like that's what keeps
Yeah.
us going and
Oh,
in business.
absolutely.
Yeah, we need them. I was talking to some business people. We had a business drink last night, and they're in wholesale. And I said, one of the things that I think is that if I had a wholesale business, I think there's a real opportunity for next year. And we had a wholesale business for 13 years, and we survived through like four natural disasters and the economic crash of 2008. And because we would just push through with new stuff. So when we're going to the shows in January, hopefully we'll have cash because hopefully the season will have gone well. and we're going to have cash to spend, and we're going to want to buy new stuff. So if I was a wholesaler, I would be really focusing on, okay, priority one is to bringing something new
Yes.
into the market for the next buying season. I mean, I would really, really focus on that.
Yeah.
I that's one thing. It's like I think when I go to the shows because there aren't a lot. I mean, there already are not a lot of new vendors. There are, but they're too small to pay the cost of getting a showroom or to pay to get cost for or the pay up for temporaries. And I miss going to the shows where there's so much newness. And I think that's a really good point about like really focusing on new introductions and new designers and new products to release because there's not going to be those small little vendors. Have you had pushback? Mary Liz kind of talked about it. Have you had any pushback on the price jumps? And because I'm having to tell the team at Lucy's, you're going to have because we're operating on a 2.5 and the restaurant's all about margins and it was a lot of conversations between the owner and myself. It's like 60% margin is 2.5, like it's the same thing. And but restaurants are so like that terminology. But I said to them, look, you guys are going to have pushback on prices. You are, and you have to understand most businesses are going to be extending this cost because you have to. You can't hold this cost yourself because it's unsustainable. But you have to have some type of common conversation with the customer if you do have pushback. Like, what do these conversations look like? What are you talking to your customers about? And how is it a way to talk to your customers where they understand? I mean, like it's not obvious, but there are, believe it or not, I know you do believe, but there's a lot of people that don't believe tariffs are real. And like, what does the conversation look like as your employees and yourselves as you're talking to the customers when this comes up?
I just point out that the Chinese people forgot to pay their tariff bill and that somehow we have to pick it up.
They ran out on the check.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Oh my God. I think for us, we're really fortunate where we live, and I know I don't want to bring it to like a political conversation or anything, but we're a fairly liberal community that we are in, and people realize we're pretty lucky that most of the people here do believe that they're real and they are happening. We actually have had people say, "Oh, this is definitely a little more priced up since the last time I was here, however long that was. So this is definitely signs of the tariff." I've heard people in the store say that, but it doesn't seem to stop them from buying it. We've always incrementally changed pricing if it's gone up for us over the years, and so for us, I haven't had too many people get crazy about some of our pricings just yet. I think that's on the way as things jump up faster and faster. Um,
We also have to remember that we're
yeah,
not selling things like bananas where you bought them
yeah,
last week for 12 cents a pound and now they're 85 cents a pound.
exactly.
It's not that easy to make price comparisons for us.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I mean,
I
if
think the
someone,
biggest problem we're going to hit is when our customers at whatever level just don't have the disposable income because they're not
Mhm.
buying their bananas for 85 cents a pound.
Yeah,
That's going to be the problem. And
Yeah,
yeah,
now I don't think it's inched up just a little bit, so we're just starting to feel it. And then we'll go into the craziness of the holidays when everyone loses their mind anyway.
exactly. Thank God.
But January is going to be the time, and depending on what does happen with the economy, that's really going to be the time where we're really going to feel it. I mean,
How are you doing your budgets for spring? I've lowered all of mine.
that was my question I was going to ask you guys.
They're rare.
I think we'll have to wait and see like what happens. I mean, we've already pre-bought, I mean, it was so, I, I went and I bought $6,000 worth of scarves, the same scarf company that just raised the price on the stuff, but I have to buy them, 6 months in advance. Well, it's
Wow.
not quite 6 months, but to get them in, we normally push them off, but I'm going to have them come a little bit sooner this year. But I'm like, and I did cut my order down because the way I just ordered what I wanted to. And then when I looked at what they showed me on the iPad, it was $5,200. And then, oh no, there's another 750 on top of that, just in the price increases that hadn't been reflected in their system yet. So that pushed the order over, $6,000. And I'm like, I need to cut, and I hardly ever do that. But I was like, no, I need to get this down back to around $5,000 because I know that then I'm going to have all of that on top of it.
Yeah.
And but I also feel like I have to have that merchandise. So I'm kind of stuck in this limbo of like, you know, what are we, what kind of budget am I going to be looking at? And luckily we don't have to pre-buy, I mean, Valentine's Day was done a long time ago, so that's already done. And if I'm sitting on,
Oh my God.
100, or 500 greeting cards that we don't sell for whatever reason, that's kind of okay. But it's not 500 scarves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the investment on that is smaller.
The place where we budget really carefully, of course, is ready to wear. And we've budgeted
Oh,
spring apparel. We're budgeting 20% down.
interesting.
And if I run out, we
You
run
run out.
out.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that people are going to be a little less spendy come spring.
We've definitely thought not fully heavily on spring, but we've definitely already known that we're going to be cutting it back. Like it'll be cut back a lot, which is a bummer. I mean, but we kind of have to do it if we want to sustain through. And it really does. If we have like a gangbuster holiday season, hopefully this month ahead thing will work. Um, that might change that a little bit, but it won't change it astronomically. We won't go back to doing crazy. Let's just get this and get this and get
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
We'll have to like, I mean, I hope those days come back because I really love that time going
it
to the
was really
shows
fun,
and
wasn't it?
it was fun running down the aisles and go, I'll take this, I'll take that, I'll take that,
That
I mean,
reminds me of like
the
doing,
buying patterns have totally changed.
Yeah.
Like, we buy smaller and more often now. It's a lot more
Hmm.
work, but it's just to keep our cash flow in because we don't know from week to week, what's going on. I mean, luckily our
100%.
business is good, and but sometimes I'm like, what's going on? And then I freak out because I'm like, okay, well, we just had like a really crappy day on a day that shouldn't be crappy, right? Because
Yeah.
you have historical data that
But
sort
then
of
we're
tells you.
also having good days on days that
Right.
are supposed to be crappy. So
Exactly.
nothing
It
is
doesn't.
following any of the plans that
No.
we have developed so carefully over all these
Yeah.
years.
So I want to
All
go
that
back and
data means
say,
nothing.
I was about to
Nothing.
say, I feel like reports don't matter anymore, Michelle.
They
Reports don't
kind
matter.
of
I'm just
don't.
kidding.
bite your tongue, bite your tongue. Yeah, the TYLY thing, I'm looking at their TYLYs and I'm comparing them now to my numbers. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little like, I thought I was gonna do better. And I, they are in Arizona, it is off season. So I'm in a whole different arena now where it's like we're going into high season for Arizona. So everyone keeps going, oh, we're gonna do huge numbers. So it will be it's funny when you're saying about like what January is gonna look like. I'm really surprised because I work on the wholesale and I'm really surprised some of the conversations I'm already having that people are bringing us, like there's 4 companies that I haven't worked with that are bringing us in for, and one is most of the products out of China. The other is, Stonewall Kitchens one, which I'm so excited about. But they're, I believe, US made. And they purchased Michael Designs. But I'm surprised so many people are investing, because it is an investment when you have us come in, because between the travel and the food and the labor, and I'm honestly really surprised I'm having so many conversations about showrooms in January, because I honestly thought for us in January, it was going to be dead. Like, I'm like, who's going to bring us in? Because that's really going to be not the tipping point, but that's really going to be where everything kind of hits its crescendo as far as what it's going to look like.
But see,
So
those
My
are those are smart people. Those are
my
yeah,
smart
husband,
people that
yeah,
are like, if there's going to be people walking the show, that showroom better look good,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so whatever money they're paying you, and I hope they're paying you a ton of money, um, that it's going to be worth every dollar because it's just going to bring in more. Like we all have to step up our game when things are I don't even know have the words to describe it, how they are.
You have to glitterize your items more than you would before because you have to really draw attention to them. And so by bringing you on, they're going to be doing just that. Because I mean, the work you do is fantastic. So you should definitely celebrate that you're being pulled in. But on that same note, because we went to the Vegas show, and on one of the days that I was walking the showrooms by myself, I ended up in an elevator with these 2 ladies, and they just looked at me and they said, "How do you think the show was? Do you think there was anything inspiring?" And I said, honestly, outside of a few of the showroom displays and things, like everyone's just held back with what they wanted to bring in. So maybe that's high hope for these showrooms that are bringing you on, that they're like, we're pushing through with new product. Finally, we're going to have it all come out. We need it to really razzle dazzle. And
Yeah.
so there's that hope too for you.
I mean,
One of
there's
the
It's great.
things,
Demdaco's coming back. Demdaco, who pulled out of Vegas, who pulled out of, I think they pulled out of Dallas. Demdaco's going back into Dallas. Demdaco went into Ivy Stone this last show, and I believe Demdaco is moving into Ivy Stone in Atlanta as well. So there's also people moving back, which was surprising as well because the investment there is obviously like massive. So I mean, that's a good point about really stepping it up and making it really over the top. I think also because there might be less. So, if there's less and more
So I
show.
have a question about that. So, and this goes to the fair.
I'm on a conference call. I'll come over. Excuse me.
No, I thought that was me again with technology.
No,
Um,
it was probably a marquee emergency.
so I'm bringing fair into this conversation because I have a love hate with them all the time. Do we foresee, and it's just a guess and a question, that potentially, like, I don't know if this Dim Daco had moved out to go to fair or not, but do we think that some of these showrooms that have left showrooms to go strictly to fair, do we see them potentially coming back because maybe the buying is not as razzle dazzle online and they need to get more in the front of the consumer
I
on
think
our side,
I
the
think
retailer side?
I think most of fair, honestly, a lot of them are because the cost to go into a showroom, you have to supply samples. So if
Hmm.
national showroom, figure out how many reps have to have samples for road reps. Then it's the cost of the samples to supply them to all the showrooms. And then it is a fee that they have. And I don't even know the fees. I just know they are pretty hefty. So like when Fine Lines started Egg, they've kind of done away with Egg now, but Egg
Hmm.
was their version of Fair. And they did that on purpose because they wanted brands that would be like in Fine Lines, but could not afford those costs. So they created Egg. So it was a lesser cost and it was smaller maker brands. And I think that's to me, and my hope is that that's what Fair becomes, smaller maker brands. And hopefully there's a lot more US brands that show there that maybe can't show where it's not taking away from the reps, it's actually adding to, what as in industry, it's adding to the selection that we all have, as opposed to you can buy it on fair or you can buy it from their rep. And I think that's the big thing right now. It's like so many people are surpassing their rep and going right to fair, and the rep, often gets left behind unless they do their due diligence. Because
Unless they're good reps.
Yeah.
yes, and that's
And
that's the other part.
that's a huge part of the problem is we have been unable to sustain a healthy rep relationship across all the different platforms. So fair is a godsend for that. And it's a godsend for those of us who buy from those little squirrels who don't know how to invoice and don't know how to do anything because
It's done
well,
for them.
it's done
Yeah.
for them. So we can
Yeah.
actually deal with them.
Yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
see more
I
and more
love fair.
companies. I do too. I
I
see more and more companies who are showing in the shows and participating in fair.
Yeah.
You look at it at the show and they do it on fair.
Yeah.
I have separated the two. I have kept my promise of like going to my reps when I need to. But I will say because they're restaurants, so I brought in a lot of food to go back to my cookbooks to go back. And that's what I've been sourcing a lot from fair is like foods and stuff like that, or like sage wands that none of my reps do. But I think there's a place for both. But I think for sure, like the smaller makers are going to be showing up more and more on fair because they just can't afford the cost. And because the showroom costs are going to be going up expend I'm
True.
assuming a lot as well. So okay.
I
Like,
think there might be some surprises in the rent and stuff on the showrooms because I think that IMC or whatever their idiot name is. Oh, anyway, and more is going to want to keep those buildings full. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some um, relaxing of rents
I would
just to
hope
keep people
so.
from moving out.
Good God.
But
But
what
also
we
New York now, we would have thought a long time ago would have lowered their rate, like post-pandemic would have lowered it enough, like to bring everybody back so it was the size it was. But it doesn't sound like they have either.
But one of the things we touched on a little earlier, I really believe in these, and my husband, who's been in retail for 50 years, we both feel that if the times are tough, we're going to be the store that has the stuff and the store that looks great. So if you're going
Yeah.
someplace else and they don't have anything because whatever, on the bus or off it. So we're firmly on the bus, and we're going to be in our usual overstocked position because that's just how we roll. And I think that that's really important for everybody. And the other thing is, we've talked a lot about new product. I don't find new product, I love new product, but my first question is, what do you write reorders on all day? What do you pay your rent with? What is the thing that I should never, ever be out of? Because if we've got those things where people keep coming back for that bar of soap or that line of sweaters, we have to remember not to pursue the new and forget the proven.
Yeah, but I always call that the bread and butter. There's a bread and
Yeah.
butter you order day in, day out that never, and then for me, it's like feeding a newness here and there. But I'm like starting to really kind of take the scarcity thought, like, with Jellycat, like Jellycat's like so unknown and like, who's going to have it, who's not. So I finally found out we still have Jellycat for now, thank God. And now I'm like telling the social media people, I've got my hands in everything in this store, and I'm sure it's pissing everyone off, but social media does translate to conversion for sales for gifts. So I'm like, we need to start focusing on Jellycat because we have it for Halloween. We're not getting any more. This is the 6 skeletons we're getting. This is the 6 whatever. So
Yeah.
really start playing up that scarcity, where if you don't buy it in anything in the stores, if you don't buy it now outside of our bread and butters, you're not going to get it. And it's like really starting to have that conversation with customers, like who are like, oh, I love this, I can maybe get it, I'll wait, or I'm not sure. And it's like, buy it now because it's not going to be here next time. And I think that
Yeah.
some of my buys, I'm starting to do that, like, this is only going to be here for this. So let everybody know it's not a bread and butter. And if it does turn out to be bread and butter, great. But I'm going in with the idea of like that scarcity mindset of like sprinkling in a lot of new and consistently changing, which, back to Michael saying, that is a lot more work.
Paperwork.
Not about that. And I'm not even gonna go down the road of working with some of my reps. I'm like, oh my God. I feel for you guys. I'm like, what? How did I forget this? Like, I don't. Okay, so we're gonna get out the tariff question, and we're gonna get onto the fun part. Michael, you don't sell Jellycat. Andrew,
Oh, we do.
do.
Yeah.
I see it.
Because I don't know. I don't post it.
Okay,
Because
so
they're so annoying.
this is my first. Andrew, do you guys have Jellycat, or because
Not at this store because our good friend up the street has it, which I'm actually okay dealing with all the things that I hear. I'm
Yeah.
fine that we don't. We have something else that's starting to have
Monami?
scarcity issue, but no, we do a little Monami, but we've been pushed heavily into the Burkowski bears, but they're
Oh,
starting to
I
run
love
into
Burkowski.
they're
Yeah.
amazing, but
They're
now they're
so
starting to have
cute.
scarcity issues too.
Yeah.
We
So
just brought
Yeah.
in Douglas, and I've been very
Oh
pleased with it.
yeah, we do
We carry
Douglas.
all 4 of those lines, and Douglas has been a
yeah.
nice addition.
And
Our other
Steiff.
neighbor has that, so I can't take Douglas. Our other neighbor has it.
There's a cute, like super inexpensive for the very low end, and I think probably most of your stores, you guys would not be, but there's a line called Fiesta. They don't show at the mart, but they do some really cute knockoffs of the Jellycat and all, like the amusables, the food stuff. So I've kind of added those in because they're at a price point for people that don't, like, for us, for tourists, because the high season starts pretty soon, like that easy little no-brainer gift. And if they can't get if I don't have the amusables in stock, at least they have this cute taco from Douglas does the cute animals as well,
Yeah,
which
they do.
as well. So with Jellycat, because I'm now noticing a ton of events based around it, like between unboxing everyone's doing now, which I love, but now they're really planning, like I'm starting to work with a store that's outside of Sacramento, and she just had her Jellycat holiday event. Like, so they're rolling out holiday instead of holding their holiday, and they're creating these whole events around them. Are you doing that? Because I believe, Mary Liz, I saw your Jellycat promotion. Are you guys doing events around this?
I don't see any reason to do an event around Jellycat. I've got 6 stupid skeletons, and that's all I'm going to get. So 6 lucky people between the web are going to get it. I don't really want to make a big stink about it. We did get Jellycat Jack for his birthday tour,
The cat.
when the giant cat, and they weren't the easiest people to work with on this stuff.
Did you
So
sell?
just
Aren't those like $1,000?
no, this was the one that they gave to select stores
It just
that was
travels.
mega huge.
Oh, it does
Yeah,
travel.
it traveled, and it was for his birthday celebration. And there, of course, were 1,000 rules about what you could do with Jellycat Jack and what you couldn't. We broke some of them and we did this fabulous promotion of Jellycat Jack visits Detroit. And we had him on the Detroit River on an old boat. We had him like at the DIA, and and I thought we were going to get a call saying, "Oh my God, you did the best of anybody." And we of course got a
Oh,
call saying, "Who do you think you are? You can't just use Jellycat Jack for anything you want." I'm going, so we had to take all of our great stuff that our
Oh, you had
graphic
to take
guy,
it off?
we had to take it all down.
Wow, it's like a cease and
My
desist.
God.
They have more rules than the nuns did at school.
they've really gotten ahead of themselves.
Yeah, they have. And
Yeah.
they're not building any loyalty with their customers
No.
for when the day goes down. But as far as
Yeah.
doing an event around them, I'd rather do an event that's really sustainable. We just announced that it's here and come and get it. The best thing for us about Jellycat is we're bringing in a lot of customers who are Jellycat nuts who come in and go crazy for the store, who might
Yeah.
not have found us if we weren't
Mhm.
attracting them with that.
Yeah.
But I'm not making them a party anytime soon.
Michael,
No.
you know.
Now I'm going to lose the line. They're going to see this and that'll be that.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to start pulling it. I mean, they've already started pulling it. Well, and the thing is, we have to buy $5,000 a year to keep our account, but I can't get $5,000 worth of merchandise.
Exactly.
We placed this order. I got 6 tennis balls. I mean, like, what am I going to do with 6 tennis balls?
And I enjoyed. Did you get those in 3 different invoices?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the paperwork's a nightmare. And anyway, I'm just like, I mean, we get it, we sell it, but what it's helped to do is really push that category. So
Yeah.
like we started ordering Stife. We do Hansa, which is super high end plush. Burkowski is great. So it's just elevated the whole category. But I don't care whether I have Jellycat. I mean, I don't care.
Did you see, because following Jellycat,
Like your attitude.
I don't think their marketing team thought this one out, but they had posted, "We love our small independent
Yeah.
retailers." And I don't know if you read the comments.
Yeah.
Oh my
Pippa.
God, it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
almost as good as when
Or
Anthropology
Pipsqueak.
put out
Yeah.
those diaper shorts. The comments,
Yeah.
the comments were so good. I mean, it's like between not thinking that out, they still have left. I mean, which I got to give it to them. They've left the post up because I thought for sure it'd be like, delete, take this out. But people did not hold back. So it will be interesting. So that's the end of my question on Jellycat.
Well, and I do want to add really quickly on that even though we don't sell them, because our friend up the street has them, people call us suspecting that we're going to be the store. Honestly, we really should be the ones that have them in town. I'm not going to lie. Um,
Agree.
but because she has it, when they call us, or come in, we're like, no, but then it does lead to we have these things too. So, you know, it's a win for us. But yeah, I'm glad we don't have the line, to be honest.
It's the gateway drug. That's what I call it. So now that everything else gets a little bit of sun shining on it. Mary Liz, okay, so Halloween, when this comes out, it's going to be before Halloween, so everyone can still hear all this. I went through your Instagram today, and I have to say, your Halloween is so impressive. And also how each section has its own theme. Like, I love the black and white thing. And it's because you have a massive store, it seemingly seems like it's in a lot of different places and has how much Halloween do you have? And now that you have Christmas coming in, does that condense? Does the Christmas go to the back? It's kind of an add-on.
No, Halloween and Christmas are kind of side by side towards the front of the store, although both of them ooze to a certain degree. But we're really mindful about how we display every holiday. So if we've got a vignette and the furniture is in blues and browns or whatever it is, we bring the seasonal merchandise into that vignette or around that vignette that works with it. So it looks like it belongs in your house. And it was great to have so much really good looking graphic black and white Halloween this year. So we could do a couple of really stunning displays. And I do like our skeleton bride on the double
on the bike. Oh my God, that was amazing. She has this huge, is it a glass case it's on? But
it's our beauty bar. It's a display
sort of. I mean, that was, I mean, I love me an upper. I mean, it's like those displays, I think, are the most.
She's right under the disco ball.
I mean,
On her
Oh.
bicycle built for two in her wedding dress with no groom. It's really good. Not everybody understands the whole story. I do,
Uh-huh.
though, which is all that matters. And you guys
Yeah.
probably would if you came in.
Yeah.
She's searching.
it's so good. So and I've already totally just sidetracked my thought. Okay, wow. So
But to finish that, as Halloween sells down, it continues to get condensed into, it takes less space. We just keep making it smaller and smaller. And then we put it on sale the day after Halloween, 50 off, but we only keep it for about a week. And then it disappears completely from the floor. So Christmas can have all the space. And then on the 26th of December, whenever that is, all of Halloween comes back out and joins the seasonal sale
Sale.
after Christmas.
how far in advance, was my question, is how far in advance are you planning these for all of you? How far in advance are you planning your concepts? Because I know for me, when I'm doing the shows, I do it in July. I talk to Andrew, he does it in January. I think Michael, you in so how far in advance are you planning your holiday rollouts, and um how early are you rolling them out in your stores?
Well, we know Andrews is today.
Well, I mean, I'll say this year, it kind of just, I mean, because of the decision of it happening today, and we did it the last couple of days, the way that we laid out and designed the store completely shifted literally as we were doing it. I mean, I have like a vague idea. I'm always jealous of people like you, Michelle, who will draw out these like really nice planograms or whatever, or however you want to call it. And at least
Yeah, we
from
don't
the
do that
notes
either.
I've seen, it is happening. In fact, the day we were doing it, that we just started it, and my husband said, "Oh, I don't like this display." And I said, "That's funny. I've actually been over it for a while too. So we just got to get rid of it soon." And he decided to just move the entire thing and get rid of it. And then I was like, "Well, that's not what I meant. We have to get Christmas out." And so it's it was fully evolving as we were doing it, and even the window display. So our window display right now is a Halloween one. So we're totally fucked up right now. We have Halloween on the front end, and then you walk in and it's completely Christmas. I mean, we're completely messed up. So as we were doing it, that's all evolving on the spot. The window changed 4 different times as I was conceptualizing it and putting everything into place. So this year it was all everything's out the window for us.
So are you doing your planning when you're buying at the show in January? While
So
you're
this year we didn't go to January. We decided it just didn't, we didn't foresee it for us for some reason to go to January. We were also dealing with the LA fires here. And so it was a complete chaos. Like there was just retail had completely tanked even down where we're at. I mean, it was like, oh my God, this is like, what is happening? And so for us, it was like, let's just, continue bringing in the bread and butter items, kind of move forward with that. And then we did summer. So this year with holiday, it was the first year we didn't buy in January, which was a big like scare for us. Like it was like, I don't think we're going to have much available. We were able to pull it off. And as we were in the shows doing that in July, we did have a conceptual idea of where holiday would go, but the full plan didn't come into effect until over the last few days.
and do you merchandise? I think I asked you before. I know you have you have the merman tree, and do you concept your holidays? Like for me,
Yes,
I like the concept. So is that kind of
totally.
you're buying, or is that like something?
Totally.
Okay.
So we do have like in one part of our store, we do have like the kitchen, the home, the entertaining area. And so that's like where all of our cookbooks and all the food related things and all of like the entertaining and the bar and everything starts to go. And then it slowly blends into what we consider our nature garden area, which is more like the earthier candles, like the Valespas, the other brands that have earthier things that are mixed in. So like the outdoor kind of life, and then it turns into a complete coastal area. So on the up one of our sides of the shop, we have the coastal and everything in front. So we are conceptualizing like if this is an area, these are the three areas we know do well for us. As we're buying decor and holiday, they have to still blend in with those. So in that capacity, that's always being thought of. That's always being planned out. So like we have those mermen, but then what else is going to go with them? And we know that we're going to have this year we have 9 total trees in the store, so we knew that in the holiday in like the coastal area we're going to have like X amount of trees, and those all need to be filled with, and even like the shelving, it all needs to kind of relate still as it blends into gifty and everyday items that become giftable. So I don't know if that answers it, if that was a
Yeah.
ramble, but
Mary Liz, are you concepting? Well, wait, one last question, because you usually buy in January because Cody Foster, you buy a lot of. Did you run into any situations where stuff was sold out? Because that's usually why people don't shop Christmas in July, because it's usually sold out.
So this year we shifted. We didn't do Cody Foster. There's a few things that I might need to see if they still have available to do, but we stuck with a brand that we hadn't done in years, Kurt Adler, just because
We're
we'd been
buying more and
heavy.
more of that too.
Yeah, and also the price points were a little bit better for us, and we still had a tiny bit of Kurt Cody from last year. And when we started looking at the pricing before the talk of tariffs, I mean, it was already pretty high up there. And so when you start adding in the 18, 20, or whatever percent they were going to charge you, it didn't make sense to us. So we stuck with the brands that we used to do more before we switched over to Cody. So
Okay.
we completely flipped the way we do holiday this year.
I love that. It's kind of forcing us to change, to do things differently and probably in
Yeah.
some sense a good way. Mary Liz, when you do the shows, are you concepting? Because you have very concepted thing. Are you doing it on the fly or are you?
We're when we're doing the seasonal buy, we're always looking for things that we can build a story around, but it's getting harder and harder to find the big statement pieces for Christmas. We used to be able to get great stuff from Raz. Do you guys remember the dancing ballerina reindeer a few 10 years ago? They were
Mhm.
fabulous. They were like 36 inches high and they were a great magnet. But we're not seeing that kind of stuff in the market anymore. So we're constantly, I mean, my bride, I bought her wedding dress for $10. We found the bicycle built for two at a garage sale, and the skeleton is pretty much falling apart because she's been around for a long time. But we're not able to replace that. We do a lot of merchandising by color and by themes. But color is the biggest important thing. But for Christmas, we look for stuff that we think we can do a window, and Halloween, we can do a window around or the center big table. But aside from that, we just put it together by color
I love
Wow.
when in doubt, color it out.
and
Michael.
category to
Oh,
some degree.
So we do we're Doug and I we're very traditional, so we do traditional Christmas, so that's most of it. We do one tree of felt only, and we do a New York City like themed tree. So we just kind of, I mean, it's kind of easy for us because we do the same thing every year, and we don't have a lot of our windows are pretty much the same every year. We don't do a lot
People love
of
that at Christmas.
yeah. It works for us, and we don't have a ton of space, and so we can't do so. Like our food has to be mixed in, on our wall of glass ornaments. It has to accommodate everything. And so it kind of makes it easier in a way for us. And our windows have to be shoppable, so we can't really do like really traditional window displays because it's the only place for us to put the trees. So they have to be shoppable, and they get molested. They like by the end of the day, the whole back is like, terrible, and then it has to be like thrown back up. So we do everything in January. We go and we have our reports. We know what we've sold. We kind of see what's new, and then we just buy. And then of course throughout the year, if we're like Cody Foster did a Labubu ornament. And so I was just like, okay, well, we have to order, 400 Labubu ornaments.
400?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, holy crap.
That's an impressive number.
I believe we mentioned foot traffic a minute ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine. So, wow, where
I
do
mean,
you?
we can split that between two stores. Although the home store, I don't know if the Labubu ornaments would go in the home store because we try to keep the home store a little more
Highbrow.
not
Homey.
not Labubu.
I don't understand the Labubu. I ordered one. I don't know why. I just felt pressured. I have no idea if I ordered a knockoff one because I ordered it, I think, through Amazon. I don't even know. I don't know what the fuck with these stupid things. And like how fast is it going to be out of style? I mean, mine was
Well,
like
it's already going. The company's already lost $6 billion worth of value. So, it's going to be over. Monchichi is the new thing I hear.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
do you remember
yes.
that?
What is?
Yeah, Monchichi.
They look kind
Remember Monchichi? It's so cute and cuddly.
of God knows.
God, we've been carrying those for a couple years just sporadically, and our rep, she's like, you need to go heavier this year because it is the thing. I was like, you got to be kidding me, but it is definitely going to be the thing.
I love it.
So by the time I get my stupid Labubu, it's going to be completely out because apparently it's coming from somewhere I don't know.
It's probably what they call the Lafufu, which is the fake
Right,
one.
right.
Sorry, Michelle.
You guys are so on trend. I don't even know what a Monchichi is.
This is like okay. This Monchichi's from we're all
Mhm.
all older. So this is from like when I was a kid. Monchichi was
Yeah.
like it's a furry little monkey with a plastic face, and it's
When
did we
I was a kid, Snoopy was a puppy.
It's like a monkey baby with a human face.
stuck
Yes,
its thumb they
they're
didn't
quite
have like
frightening, actually. Yeah.
I can't believe I remember that. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna have questions because some people I asked for people to send in their questions. So one of them is Rare Form in Chicago, who I mentioned earlier. When is it okay to go full on Christmas? November 1st? We know Andrew's rolling his out, and that would be just so for everyone knows for a date purpose. Today is October or October. Today's September
26.
6th. So
God, it's
that is
so
not too
early.
early. When is too early, everyone else?
Valentine's Day is really kind of early.
Yeah.
The day after Valentine's Day
You
is
have to wait
fine
till after
though.
Easter.
Ours goes up. Ours doesn't go up until the week before Thanksgiving because we do a really big, we're really into fall. So we really push fall and Thanksgiving. So we try to wait. Although we'll probably do a wall of ornaments in the gift shop. Will probably go up in October sometime.
Mary Liz, you've already got some of yours out now, correct?
Yeah, we're hauling it out.
Hauling it out.
We're hauling, yeah, we're hauling out our holly. But we don't bring out all the little junk, all the stocking stuffers and all that kind of stuff until our feature table is ready to accept it, which is the day after Halloween, a couple
Wait,
days after Halloween.
the junky stuff, is that like the smalls, like the little
Stocking stuffers and all the small gifty
oh,
dumb stuff.
Now I'm gonna preface or reiterate, not reiterate or preface. I don't know what I'm saying, but we've only put the decor out. Like our gifty stuff that's
Yeah,
what's still rolling in, and so we're still. But our store looks like Christmas threw up. There's garland everywhere.
yeah, we have
I
that problem
mean,
too.
it's. I'll be posting all of it later on socials, but yeah, yeah.
oh, we start, which is really for me to for them. It's we do Bristol Farms, which is a super high-end grocery store in California, and there's 14 locations. And we have like 10 years ago, they tried to roll out holiday super early before Halloween. And I don't know if it must have been a bomb, but now we're doing this will be our 5th year rolling out Halloween, Christmas. We start October 20th, which is very weird to me because this is not a little bit of Christmas decor. This is when you walk into any grocery store, there's the exterior, it goes from deli to bakery, back around to the meat counter. There's lit garland all the way from the front of the store at the bakery and juice counter, all the way around the back. Lit garland and decor on every single end cap, lit garland and decor through the wine department, lit wine through the juice department. I mean, it's insane that this is a grocery store. So you walk into this grocery store and it's like Halloween right in front, the balloons, the flowers, the gifts, and then looking past everything is Christmas. And what they were very smart about was starting to promote their marketing team starts to promote their order your holiday meals because you can order everything from them for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And that what they realized, and I'm sure it's the same as setting up holiday early, they realized that you have that sense of it not scarcity, but that sense of like the excitement for the holiday. And even though you're going to walk in and go, oh my God, Christmas already, it does make you start thinking about like holiday entertaining. And so now they've started to roll out the same time when each store rolls out their holiday, that next day, their table comes out that they start taking pre-orders for holiday meals. And it's actually really bumped up their numbers. So I'm hoping that this is the earliest we're doing it. We're not moving it any earlier because it seems insane to me. And I'm the person who's already burning Christmas candles and listening to Christmas carols
I
already.
think having it,
I'll also add to that though. I think this year, no matter where you are in the world of what you believe, I think what the heaviest things are, holiday coming early, holiday always entices a little bit of joy and
Yeah.
happy and things like that. And so, joking aside, and I'm sarcastic about the way that we rolled it out, I think that at the end of the day, we really want people to have a good time and to have a little laughter. And that's kind of the end of the day, what our shop is there for. And so if this is what's going to do it after such a heavy year, especially here in LA with everything that's happened,
I think you're right.
I think it's
it'll
very smart.
relax people a little bit to be like, okay, let's remember what really does matter. And so grocery stores, yeah, I want to eat and I want holiday entertaining. So that's very smart of them. I think that's great.
gonna see it because there's two in your backyard.
Yeah.
I just got a message from our seasonal buyer that I think you people will find amusing. Hi, I can't find the chocolate covered reindeer poop that we normally buy. Do you like any of these other options? One is cotton candy poop. The other is sour cherry reindeer droppings.
Maybe not sour cherry.
These are the questions.
Big life decisions.
So I'm
Classic reindeer poop is a casualty of tariffs, I guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
I like the
Or
coal
constipated reindeer.
for the coal from Hammond's. I still love that stupid coal. So push it out early is everybody's consent.
I think also if it's pushed out early, even if people are not buying it, when they start to think about where are they going to get it, they've seen it someplace and they know oh my God, it looked good. I'm going to go back there where I saw it 3 weeks ago.
They're going to remember that you have it.
Yeah.
Also, because Marilys, do you have a Hobby Lobby near you?
I can't remember.
You must not. If you would know. Michael, I doubt you do. And then
We have, tons of Michaels.
But
I don't know.
Hobby Lobby, I always call it the Hobby Lobby effect, that because they bring in Christmas, they roll it out, no joke, in July. And I do not like this company because of some of their beliefs. I'm going to say that now. But it is a necessary evil in the sense of when you're setting up Christmas in July for the show, it's the only place on earth that you can actually walk in and buy a fucking Christmas tree in July. But they bring it in, literally mass it out in July. And so now it's September, it's already 50% off. And it's for stores nearby, it makes it so challenging to bring out their holiday, because if you do wait, and this is another reason why I think earlier the better, if you do wait, they've already had it on sale, and it's obviously not the same thing, but they've already had it on sale for fucking months. And you're putting out, and you'll have people come in like, oh, I can get this at Hobby Lobby at 50% off. It's like, the good news is it's already sold out by the time you put it out. But sadly, it's with them, I think, what's the other, Home Goods, they're already like bringing in, it's already knocked down. And so I think the better gives you, I'm always saying this, gives you a longer window to sell through your holiday before you do need to actually knock it down on sale.
We don't knock it down until the day after Christmas.
Exactly. I was about to say the same thing. I was talking to Bryce about it last night, and I said, how do you feel about maybe a little, kickoff sale? And he goes, absolutely not. Not till the day after Christmas.
Not.
Yeah.
And then it's all gone. And so it was just like, by then you're like, yeah, let's get rid of it.
We will have a little one night. We have a witches' night out with teaching witch dancing and whatever else. But a few days before Halloween, we'll do 30% off Halloween on that night only
I
for people in costume.
love that.
But it's like 3 days away from, or maybe we do 20% off for everybody and 40. I don't know. We encourage the people to get dressed up.
That is my next question from Shop Shabby Boutique. Everyone does season kickoffs. What is a new, fresh idea for an Xmas season start? Not to put y'all on pressure, but
So we don't do a kickoff. I mean, the city does. We're fortunate that our community does promote stuff for the holidays, and that's kind of like the big thing. But what we have found successful for us over the years is we do, so our 9 days before Christmas Eve, so technically I think it's like the 13th through the 23rd, we're open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then Christmas Eve, we're 9 to 4. And those specific nights, we've done certain events that happen from 7 to 9 or 6:30 to 9. Like we do karaoke for discounts, and you have to sing a song. We have a full rollout karaoke machine. And if you don't sing a song, you don't get the discount. I mean, and there's no pussyfooting it around. I mean, you're singing the full song. So we'll do things like, we'll do full things like that, but we don't do start of Christmas or start of holiday sale or promotional things. But I know some stores that do, and it's good for them, but we wait.
Michael,
we do nothing.
We do events all the time. So we don't do a traditional Christmas launch, but we will have a Christmas, I've forgotten what it is, some kind of a holiday party where we have a DJ and we've got vendors come in and prizes and that kind of stuff. But it's been up for a while. It's just to get people juiced up to buy more stuff and eat dinner in the restaurant.
I love that. There's two more questions because I know we're rolling into our second hour and I know you all have stores to run.
I have an appointment for a facial. Let's just get real here.
Good for you.
Okay,
You
then
have really good. You do have really good skin. So
Thank you.
that's why. Random question, well, there's two. Random question, and I think Michael probably will be able to answer this. When a stinky street person walks in, what do you do?
Oh, well, um, I have I have a couple that come and visit me, and I show them out of the store as fast as I possibly can. My whole thing is I just engage with them on a very friendly level, and I just kind of move them along, and then I just kind of open the door and I just kind of get them out into the street, and then I'm like, okay, see you, bye, and then I close the
yeah.
door. Um, I mean, it's in all fairness, it's New York City, and we have our challenges with unhoused and mentally, unstable people. But I don't know. They're no more annoying than some other customers.
Sometimes they're less annoying than some of those other
That's
customers.
that's
Yes.
true. That's true.
Mary Liz, do you have this challenge?
We do sometimes, and we're just as nice to them as we can be, and hope that they conclude their non-business here rapidly and get out, and don't steal the toilet paper.
My
Yeah.
husband's suggestion was walking up with one of the candles. Did you smell this candle? It's lovely. That was Dave's. Dave was not the
I love Dave.
suggestion this morning.
Dave's trying to sell him a candle. I love
Yeah.
it.
The last question is from M's Garden. What do you think about decorating, styling the outside of the store seasonally?
I
We
think it's
do
a
it.
great if you can make it work for your store, great, do it.
Michael? Yes, nodding.
I think it's we do fall and then we do Christmas, so we do garland outside the shops, and then we do a hay bale and we have a vintage toboggan that we put out in front of the store. So it's sitting on the street on a hay bale, and lots of people come and they take pictures of their dogs on it. It's kind of more of a wintry kind of thing. But so we do that. I know it's big in New York City is the big floral displays outside and
Yeah.
the grapevine with all the stuff and the lights, and it's just too much for me. So we roll it back in to do, something slightly more tasteful. Although I do have this fantasy, I would love to cover all of the entire length of the store with like floor to ceiling fringe,
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be
tinsel,
fun.
Do
so that you
it.
couldn't see inside. So you'd have to like look inside. But then I know that would last about 36 hours, and then it would be a disaster.
It would be amazing for those 36 hours.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'll
Pigeons would
fly in.
die. I know on it.
Mary Liz, do you do anything? And then also for all of you, do you have, because we talked to Michael was with, you were in the Occasion Net interview, but Occasion Net did this insane installation,
That was bonkers.
They're
hundreds,
wild.
hundreds of mercury or maybe they were plastic, but ornaments all clustered together, went from inside the store, literally outside the store, down the window. And I was like, because I'm sorry, in California, people fuck with that stuff. Like take it, they don't take the whole thing.
Yeah.
They certainly take pieces of it. So for when you do these displays outside, I mean, the first thing I think of is like, I can't believe someone hasn't walked off with the sled. But do you have that issue?
We will get broken ornaments, but I think that's just like drunk people like trying to take an ornament. But I just buy tons of vintage stuff, so I just put new ornaments back up when that happens. But no one's really. I mean, you'd have to be kind of ballsy to try to walk off with a vintage toboggan. I mean, I wouldn't put it. We don't leave it out at night. It comes
Okay, there you go.
it comes in when we leave.
That's the
And
key.
no one wants a hay bale, so the hay bale is perfectly
Okay,
fine.
that's the key. I was
Yeah.
thinking it was out all the time.
No.
And then Mary Liz, do you have any?
We put lights around our awnings and around our fences, but we have a, a long run of planter boxes in front of our store, as well as all the way around the patio at the restaurant. So we have to put something in them after the flowers all die. So we do greens and lights and junk. And then
We do
often
little zhuzh like that too.
after the Christmas season is off, and I often go to Michael's and buy cheap flowers. Our tulips come up first. Some years they're Gerber daisies, and they look fabulous. They're just real happy
Yeah.
poking up out of the dirt. And we use them for a few years until they're so disgusting we have to throw them away.
Sun bleach is something I can think of. Okay, I asked each of you to have a question for yourselves, and this is where we're going to end our conversation. Who wants to ask the question first?
I'll ask.
All right.
Okay. What movie creatively inspires you?
Oh,
Oh,
Beetlejuice.
ah,
Ah,
oh, that's a good one.
that's good.
Oh, anti-meme.
Okay.
That one too.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
Those are
do
good.
sing We
Rosalind
Need a Little
Russell.
Christmas right this very minute a lot while I'm doing all this stuff.
I wish I had a movie that inspired me. I go through magazines. That's where I always find my inspiration. I know a lot of people watch movies, but I always have the hardest time translating what I'm seeing on a screen to what I can do in a store. What is yours?
Yeah. It's a little dark and twisted, but Black Swan. It is,
Oh,
beside it being one of my top three movies of all time, when I used to do photographs, like couples and all of that, I would watch it and it'd be so inspired. And sometimes when I'm feeling a little block merchandising the shop, I'll just put it on in the background and I don't know, just does something.
I love that. All right. Anybody else with a question?
I have a question. When you hate your store and you hate everybody in it and you hate your customers and you hate all the stuff, what do you do in your store that makes you feel better? Maybe that never happens to you too.
no, what I do
It
is
happens.
I go down the street to Dante and I have a martini and then I come back and after the store's closed and then I spend 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours by myself just in the store redoing the store. And it always kind of just gives me a little bit. I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. Like we're good at what we do. Um, yeah, the martini definitely helps. Sometimes I'll actually have a martini in the store too while I'm doing it. So.
Attaboy.
I may not have a martini, but there's this really amazing microdose company that is a liquid, and I will go to the back in our fridge and I will pop a Topo Chico and I will pour it into that Topo Chico and I will just sip on that because it will take my mood from here right to about here
What is the
for like
product? I need to
the
know
last like hour or so of the shop.
what
And
is
then
this,
I'll go home and I'll stress out on my husband and he'll go, you need to just check your moods and I'll have another one.
what is this product? I need to know.
It's called Cann.
You know what? I tried to buy that and they won't ship it to Oregon. So I'm
When
gonna
you come to town, I'll hook you up with a bunch. I have a subscription.
I need to because the gummy thing, I will do gummies to sleep, but I haven't been I'm too paranoid to do it when I'm working because I'm afraid, I don't know, I'm just paranoid. So I did read about the canna. So I do need that. For me, for it's like because I have challenging clients and I have challenging now that I'm in a store and there's customers and um merchandising for me is like to be able to get in my own little headspace because to me it's like a puzzle. So if I can be out of the way, because now being in the restaurant part of it, the gift stores are literally, it's not like Cracker Barrel where you walk through the gift section and then you get seated. It's literally like in the middle. So there's runners going by with food and there's an ice machine that everyone's trying to get to. It's a lot of it's a lot of clusterfucks like that I have to try and navigate as well as try and fix, with the store, trying to fix the walk space. But for me to be able to find a little space where there's no one near me and I don't have to talk to anybody, that I can just focus on that for even just an hour will just take me, because that's my happy place is the merchandising part. So
That's
I
me too.
I can understand that. It's just a matter of being able to stay out of everyone's eyes.
Or
Do you have
sometimes
to?
I file just so I can take a pile of
Yeah.
stuff and put it
Uh-huh.
somewhere and go, I did that.
You are
It's done.
accomplished.
And
Michelle,
nobody can undo it.
Michelle, do you have to deal with additional ADA compliances because you're putting merchandising right there in the restaurant? Yeah.
I do. I mean, like that's the one thing. Even with the gift shows, I have to comply with ADA no matter what. And I don't. There's a store that is out there in Arizona that they took me to that is fucking amazing. I mean, the amount of merchandise packed in this store is insane. And I was like it takes a lot for me to get overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, like how there's no ADA compliance. Like there's a wall of merchandise here, and literally it must be 2 feet, and there's coolers for their drinks. And it's I don't know how they get the door open, but I have to get ADA for sure because I will be the one to blame. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I think always is my fear of when we're setting floors in showrooms. I'm always like 4 feet, four of my own feet. I have to make sure that I can get around. And sometimes even that feels really because I've understood now the ADA rule is if there's people that are out there purposely, like a lot of things, purposely trying to focus on, and there may not even be handicap, but they will go in and place complaints and demand money through lawyers and whatnot. That's
Yeah.
even on websites. I heard if they're not
You have, yeah.
blind
Yeah.
compliant,
We're really careful about it because I just think it's polite.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's the only way. I mean, I can't even imagine. It's why I moved out, to be honest, why part of the reason why I moved out of Manhattan Beach, because it would make me insane that the women that would go and park their G-Wagons in their pickleball outfit in a handicap spot to go to Starbucks, I would be like, what are you doing? And I was the person that said something and I got yelled at a lot, but that is my number one. Getting in trouble is my number one. Number two is for the people that actually have to have space to be able to maneuver a wheelchair in and around a store filled with a bunch of shit. So on that,
I
Can I
hate
ask
to
a
be a
question?
party pooper. I have
Oh,
to
you gotta
run in
go.
about a minute.
Okay.
thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to issue on that question.
No. I'll text you my question.
You
Or
texted to me too?
I'll DM you my question. Yeah.
I'll answer right away after my facial.
Okay, good.
Hey, Liz, thank you. Now you got to go. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much.